Good afternoon. It is Monday and it is 1 o'clock, which means it is motivation time. Monday Motivation. My name is Mary Gregory, executive coach, facilitator, and author of the book Ego. And the theme for this month, as you know, is teams. It's all about how can we create team excellence. And today I'm going to focus on particularly what can go on at executive team level, which is such an important part of the organisation, what's happening on the executive team. I want to talk about primary and secondary teams. So if you think about the team that you're a part of, which is the team that you feel is the most important team for you? And quite often what can happen is that I've experienced that we have executive teams, so a team of executives working at the top of the organisation, but they're each leading a team of their own. So you might, for example, have the finance director, the marketing director, the sales director, HR director, all the different executives who are part of that executive team making decisions on behalf of the whole of the organisation. But they also have teams of their own that they're leading as well. And where there can be confusion is around which is my primary team and which is my secondary team. And often those leaders might regard the team that they're leading as their primary team. After all, they're the leader of it, and it's a really important team for them to make sure that they achieve success. But actually, that team is their secondary team, because the primary team is the executive team to which they belong, where they are equal players in contributing to making sure that that team leads the organisation and leads it successfully. The challenge in particularly larger corporations where there is a view that actually the team I'm leading is the primary team and the exec team is a secondary team is that what ends up happening is you end up with different directorates competing against each other, which results in silo working, people going off and doing their own thing and not necessarily working collaboratively with each other. And that competitiveness is really destructive and can contribute to all sorts of tricky dynamics when it comes to the team and the team pulling together and leading the organisation forward. So there's a real mind shift required by those leaders to make sure that they consider the executive team they are a part of as the primary team and the team they're leading as that secondary one. Just as important, but it's what goes on at that primary executive team that is going to have the most impact on the organisation. And the view of being a team member of that team is how do you regard your fellow team members? And rather than regarding them as someone that you compete against, regard them as someone whose success you are committed to. It's really important at that level that team members work collaboratively together, they work supportively together, and that the view they have of each other is that their success is just as important as their own success. Because at the end of the day, if everyone is not succeeding in that executive team, there is going to be an issue and there is going to be challenges which will impact the whole of the organisation. So if you are a member of an executive team, but also leading your own directorate, consider where do you put most of your energy? Do you really put your energy into ensuring that executive team's success and ensuring the success of your colleagues on that team? Or are you purely focused on the team that you're actually leading? And if you notice that you're in any way competing with your executive team fellow members, then think about how can you consider becoming more collaborative, committing to their success as much as your own. And I've talked about executive teams today, but this also applies to teams generally out in the world generally. I recently, as you know, was a member of the team as part of the Fab Collab team that came together to create the event that we had and to write the book that we've published. And, you know, in that event and in that team, there were fellow coaches. Now, one could say, right, they're fellow coaches. You should be competing against each other. But actually, we did exactly the opposite. We worked collaboratively. We are committed to each other's success. And in so doing, we have created a success that was much bigger than just any one individual of that team. And that's the gem the diamond that is what collaboration is all about. So competition really has no place on any team. It really is all about collaborating and supporting each other in order to ensure that team's success, and particularly making sure your colleagues are successful and you support them and they support you through that. So I hope you found that insightful this morning. Please do join me on Thursday. We have my Leadership Live, which is all about team excellence. I'll be talking further about this very subject. You can sign up by following the link, which I will put into the chat below. Do sign up. Look forward to seeing you then. Otherwise, I'm away on holiday next week, so I won't be sharing next week, but I'll see you the week after. Bye for now.